And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate here, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart. And I tell you, I just love the feedback I get on a daily basis. People supporting our show partners, reaching out, supporting our folks that are supporting us, supporting Salem, supporting the family, the radio family here. Greatly, man, it means the world to me for you guys to do that. Brandon with Veteran Gutters talked to me over the weekend. He said, man, I've talked to a couple of just really awesome listeners lately, and they are just excited about your show and to work with us. And so Veteran Gutters is our sponsor for this segment. Big shout out to Brandon Porter and his team over at Veteran Gutters. Commercial, residential, all types of gutter systems. They can help you do that. And he served our great country. He is a military veteran. He is a Marine. And we thank you so much for supporting our show by reaching out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Just call or text that hotline, and all you have to do is text 813-917-1894. Any questions that you may have, you're going through life, you get different things that happen, auto accident happens, something happens, reach out to the hotline. You have real estate questions, mortgage, title, so many different ways we can help you. Reach out to 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com is your number one resource right here in Tampa Bay. We want to be that super connector for you, help you understand your buying decisions, make you more street smart here. And we have a great lineup for you today. We got Shane Socash on the program, David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. Jason Kobal's in the house as well, Kobal Law, TampaWorkCompLaw.com, and Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. Before we jump into this, got to let you know about a hot listing that we've got here back on the market. 5014 Pompano Drive. This is in Gulf Harbors. This is in Port Richey. Beautiful property. New Port Richey. 5014 Pompano Drive. Almost 1,700 square feet. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2-car garage. Waterfront home with bay access. That's right. Bring your boat. You got a private dock, deep, wide canal. And, of course, you're out fishing into the Gulf of Mexico in just a matter of minutes. Updated kitchen, huge lot. This is a beautiful corner lot opportunity. Pool, covered porch, circular driveway, private beach community as well. Community clubhouse, boat ramp. So many things to look forward to at your new home at Pompano Drive in Newport Richey. And we got a commercial property as well, South Tampa. This one just hit the market as well, 4220 West Pearl. This is in South Tampa. This is a commercially zoned property. So this is perfect for that outdoor landscape business, that business owner that has vehicles to park, trucks, trailers, tractors, maybe that blue-collar type company. You're working with your hands, that working class man. 4220 West Pearl Avenue in Tampa. 1,200 square foot building for your office staff. Got mixed use. It's a 0.6 acre lot. So just over half an acre lot, corner lot as well. Centrally located in South Tampa. Great opportunity for a contractor or other businesses here in Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, so we got Doug Levi on the line, but we also have Jason Kobal in the house. I wanted to have Jason just give us a little teaser of what he's going to talk about today. Welcome in.
Hey, Brandon, always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to talk about some things going on in workers' comp and personal injury, as well as Social Security. So
okay. Excellent. Good stuff. We're going to jump into that with Jason coming up here. We're going to go to the phone lines now. We got Doug Levi on the line, the insurance quarterback, Strategic Insurance. And Doug, you're telling me another one bites the dust. Another carrier bites the dust.
Yeah, Brandon, it's I feel like the Grim Reaper here a little bit. So first off, great day in Tampa Bay, beautiful weather. God is still on the throne regardless of anything. We got Resurrection Week that we'll be celebrating, right? So Easter is this coming Friday, but so always need to focus our eyes on more important things. But in the Florida insurance world, unfortunately, another one bites the dust. I was joking. We need to cue up that that song from the 70s or 80s. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. So unfortunately, and not to make light too much, but trying to have a little fun here. Unfortunately, Lighthouse Insurance. They just went into receivership last week. So what does that mean, again, for consumers and listeners out there? This will be the third carrier in the last 90 days that has gone into receivership, and that means that they are not financially sound. The state of Florida steps in. They either have to be liquidated or sold, or if there's not a suitor or someone to buy, then you literally have 30 days to find a new policy. So, again, I know several people out there, and some have reached out. We're already seeing more and more in the media, the Tampa Bay Times about this, and certainly other local news outlets. This is a huge issue for the state. It really is. It's a huge issue for our area. We do have clients affected by this. We've already started a very proactive campaign where we mail our clients letters. We have an email campaign to follow up to make sure we're doing everything we can to help them understand what's going on and then their next options. So, if you're a consumer out there and you've got Lighthouse Insurance, unfortunately, they're the latest one to bite the dust. So, the interesting thing with this one, Brandon, for what it's worth, the Florida book of business was actually profitable. So there used to be a company called Prepared Insurance that Lighthouse bought probably 3 or 4 years ago that was actually pretty profitable and doing okay. But Lighthouse is home in Louisiana, and they have a lot of exposure due to Hurricane Ida. So for those that may remember, a few years back, Hurricane Ida really did a number on the New Orleans area. It was a major, major storm, and really that was what kind of pushed Lighthouse over the edge. So it's actually kind of an example, too, of like the interconnectedness that we all face in a lot of ways in our world and lives, but also in the insurance space. So it's really the Louisiana Department of Insurance, for what it's worth, is the sort of governing body that's put Lighthouse in a receivership, but because they have a company here in Florida that's also kind of getting swept up by it.
Yeah, it's a challenging market when you look at the risk that these companies take on, and then you have a couple of storms happen, like the NFIP program, National Flood Insurance Program, and then Superstorm Sandy of all places hits New England area, the New York. I mean, it's pounding up there, and then traditionally you think about Texas, Florida, New Orleans, Louisiana being hit with hurricanes and storms. So then sometimes these things just happen all over the place, and it ends up throwing off these actuaries essentially is I believe how they write these policies. They try to figure out what the risk would be, what should the premium be, and then ultimately they're in it to make money as an insurance company. But unfortunately, there was too much to explain. Can you try to give us an insights on what happened? Too many storms all at once, too many claims, floods?
Yeah, so a lot of it, Brandon, and again, it's just unfortunate. You've got a lot of hurricanes that have caught up to the industry, frankly. So if we look over the last several years, there's just been a lot of hurricanes. Now, the challenge for us is always, and our clients, and tell me if this sounds about right, and if you're just out there driving and listening, you're saying, but I haven't had a claim. We haven't had a hurricane in Tampa Bay, and I totally understand that. And look, my insurance has been infected just like everyone else. My rates have gone up and facing all the same things. But, insurance in general is the idea of spreading the risk. And that's not just across a state. That could be across several states. That could be across a country, right? So what's happened is the Southeast has really taken a beating, right? You look at Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, parts of Florida. I mean, the Panhandle has really taken it, on the chin the last several years as well. That all starts adding up. And then you've got sort of a legislative environment. We were talking a little bit before the show, Brandon, and I know there's excellent attorneys out there, but there are attorneys that frankly have taken advantage of our system here in Florida. This is a little fun fact. 85% of all insurance litigation takes place in the state of Florida out of the entire country. So that tells us something right 80%? There, right? 85%.
Wow.
Right. So that's where a carrier is sued. There is something that goes on, and then a carrier is sued. And again, I'm not here to, hold the flag for the, or carry the water, if you will, for the insurance carriers. There are definitely times where the carrier needs to be held responsible, and maybe they did not do something right, and it may go to a situation where you need to get an attorney involved.
Right.
Unfortunately, what happens in our state is there's economic incentives and economic drivers, if you will, is probably a better way, for attorneys to frankly stir up something when there's no there. Right. And then the insurance carriers wind up paying. And then what are we seeing happen? It ultimately is going to get filtered through the system down to John Q. Public, right? We also just came out with a report recently that Florida is now the most expensive state in the country for homeowners insurance. The average premium in the state of Florida is $3,600 a year for homeowners insurance. That is a pretty staggering number, right? And again, I'm not talking you have a multi-million-dollar home down in, in South Florida. This is your rank and file, middle America, average Floridian, if you will, right? So there's just a lot of pressure, both from the natural disasters and hurricanes that have been faced, and then also economically and sort of some of the legislative environment that's here in Florida. And the state is trying to wring some of that fraud out, right? They are trying to do some things. Unfortunately, nothing changed or got passed at this last legislative session, which just ended in March. And they are talking, and Governor DeSantis, who I think is a good operator. I think he's a great governor. I'm so thankful that we live in the state of Florida, the free state of Florida, right?
Right on.
He has come out and said he acknowledges there's an issue and a problem, and that they're looking at a potential special session in November, which means that they would call all of the Congress and send it back for the state of Florida in November, very likely just to talk about insurance, because it's become such an issue.
Right. Yeah, it's very challenging right now in the real estate market. As you know, lopsided market. Buyers are looking for homes. Sellers are, hard to come by.
Yeah.
We're talking with Doug Levi here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Doug is the owner, Strategic Insurance, right here in Tampa Bay. TampaBayInsurance.com, InsuranceSideHustling.com as well. You've got that side hustle opportunity for folks out there that are looking for additional income, maybe looking to supplement what's going on, with the economy. Of course, challenges there. Inflation at record highs. We got counterfeiters in Washington, D.C. printing money, and it's hurting the American middle class. It's hurting, families. It's hurting the younger people that are kind of up and coming as well. And so this side hustling thing, I really love to talk about this, Doug, because people, you got a great opportunity there with your insurance side hustle as well. We have something going with Keller Williams Realty as well. But tell us about that, Doug.
Yeah, absolutely. So we created InsuranceSideHustling.com about 2 years ago, and it's been a great program really to help people who are looking to do something part-time in, one of the largest industries in the world, that being insurance. And we really teach people how to do primarily personal lines insurance. So that's home, auto, boat, flood, umbrella, things that individuals and families need. We start with them all the way from if they've got no experience or no background at all, showing them and helping them get licensed, bringing them on board, training them, providing the carriers and the actual markets that they'll need to help their clients, carriers like Progressive or Liberty Mutual or Travelers. And then we provide all the service and support. And so they're able to do this part-time on the side and really earn some decent money. And, we have the heart of the servant, if you will, at our agency, and we look all the time of how we can be a light in our community.
Right.
And helping people with a very practical need, right? Insurance isn't sexy. It's not flashy. Frankly, it can be frustrating and confusing. We try to demystify it, make it easy for people, and help clients save money while still making sure they've got the proper protection and coverage, right? So it's definitely an area where we feel it can be a real win. Maybe that person who's tired of driving around in Uber or Lyft, and they're looking for something part-time, or,
right.
The stay-at-home mom. I mean, there's lots of applications all over, no doubt. And then the cool thing with our industry, the way it works, is you can really start to build a book of business. So every year, if your client sticks with you and renews with you, you can get paid again, right? So that's kind of the magic of the renewal process that we have in insurance. And, we're just excited. We're enjoying helping people and kind of showing them the ropes and how they can really help impact their families and their communities as well.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I think, Doug, people are looking for that more than ever now because of the things I had just mentioned, inflation and the economy, and some layoffs in different sectors, jobs, those types of scenarios, and people are looking for that work from home position. So this is a position also part-time, side hustle, work where you want. We've got similar opportunity, Keller Williams Real Estate School. It's a free school, free opportunity to take the class online. It's powered by Kaplan, so a well-known name in education. So you get your real estate license, you get your insurance license. Now look at that. You've got that going. You can work with Doug. You can work with us. You go out there and you just kind of leverage your network. You're talking to people. You're putting them in a better position than where you found them, and you're helping people, especially in the real estate side, buying, selling, investing. People are always talking about real estate, so it's a fun topic, and you just got to kind of get out there and network a little bit. And there's some things you can do training wise to get even more in depth in that. But yeah,
100%.
That's about our time for today, my friend. But final thoughts back to you. How can folks find you and connect with you online?
Yeah, so people can reach out to us on TampaBayInsurance.com. It's a real easy way they can live chat with us. We can talk whether they need help with their insurance or they're interested in the side hustle. And, and then I would just encourage, in terms of the final thought, is, this coming Sunday is a day we remember that changed the world. And I love this. Our pastor said this last weekend. Today people name their kids Peter and their dogs Nero. So 2,000 years ago, when no one thought Christianity would last or be around, over 1 billion people bend the knee to Jesus Christ. And so we rejoice in that and celebrate that Resurrection Sunday this Sunday.
Absolutely. Great week for it. Thanks a lot, Doug.
Amen.
Appreciate you.
All right, brother. See you guys.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
my man. All right. We're going to take a quick break. Then when we come back, Jason Kobal's in the house. Attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Plus, we got our feel-good story of the day. This is pretty cool. Tampa leaders go over the edge for charity. Find out about what they did to help big brothers, big sisters here in Tampa Bay. We'll be right back. Don't touch that.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or PlatinumMVPteam.com.
Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Got a Carrollwood property for sale, Village Glen Drive. This is 14663 Village Glen Drive in Carrollwood. Beautiful property here in Tampa Bay. 2 bedrooms. You got 2.5 bath, pool, spa. You got an outdoor kitchen as well. Pavers, beautiful kitchen. Updated kitchen as well. Now the master bath also has a jacuzzi, tub, sauna, tanning bed. Just a gorgeous property, completely renovated right here in beautiful Carrollwood, Tampa Bay, Florida, Hillsborough County. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, Carrollwood Village home. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
All I've got's love for Love City.
All right, we got attorney Jason Kobal in the house. Jason helps us in the areas of work comp law, Social Security, auto accidents, personal injury. And Jason, what are you seeing on your side, man?
Oh, well, not much before I get into that. I just want to say, man, Doug Levi is so sharp. I always learn something when he's on.
Yeah.
I can't believe the percentage rate for claims filed against carriers in the country.
85%?
Wow.
Did you say? That's amazing.
I mean, I don't do homeowners. I know that a lot of them are, I guess we have some favorable laws for attorney's fees with regards to that. I don't do that kind of work, but I guess that's why a lot of them are filed here.
They're based here.
And I guess, I don't know if it's because of the weather, why we have so many of those things, but man, I didn't know it was that high.
Me neither.
That's something.
That's unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Out of
interesting.
50 states, yeah.
But at any rate, you know what I like to do? I come on here and then I bring up stuff that's going on in my practice since the last time I was here, and
Right.
there's always something going on.
Yeah.
I recently had a case involving someone who gets hurt at work and tests positive for any kind of drug. And in Florida, we have the drug-free workplace program. So basically, if your employer adheres to the restrictions to be a drug-free workplace, if one of their employees, if you work for an employer like that, if you get injured, they drug test you within 72 hours of the accident, and then you test positive for anything, you get fired. And then they deny your case. And then I have to overcome a presumption that the drug use was involved at the accident. Actually, the presumption is very difficult. I have to prove that there is no reasonable hypothesis that could be made that the drug played any type of role in the accident, which is tough. But then if they're not a drug-free workplace, then it's just they would have to basically prove that the drug use did, cause the accident or was involved in causing the accident. So, if someone, I had recently had a case, somebody was rear-ended. Yep. They tested positive for marijuana. Uh-huh. He said that he smoked it in a state where it's legal, and it's a drug-free workplace. I'm going to fight that because I feel that there's no. That had nothing to do with the person getting rear-ended. It wasn't his fault.
Who was the one smoking? The one that got rear-ended, or the one that hit?
Well, I don't know if he was smoking. I don't think he was at the time. But he tested positive. That was my client who was just at a red light.
So he was sitting there.
Yeah. So whether he was, exactly. So so if you get a case or if you have an accident like that and you lose your job and it's a situation like that where it had nothing to do with the accident, you give me a call. We'll fight that.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, you got to fight for your right. So Jason can help you do that. Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, longtime friend of the program here, and yeah, Jason. That just seems like a no-brainer. I mean, the guy's sitting there at a red light. What does his use in another state have to do with the person hitting him from the behind?
Exactly,
from the rear end. Yeah.
Exactly. But you know what? They have that presumption that this employer, they are a drug-free workplace, so they get to have this presumption that someone will have to overcome. So they're probably just hoping he doesn't get a lawyer to fight it.
Right.
And a lot of people probably just, disappear and move on with their lives. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to let your listeners know if that happens, definitely could help you out with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So basically all Florida work environments, employers fall into two camps. Either a drug-free, they state that they're admittedly drug-free versus a drug-free company. To
become a drug-free workplace, there's like statutory requirements, a whole long laundry list of them. Like you have to have posters up in your place of employment stating that, and you have to meet certain limitations and restrictions. If you do that, then you get the benefit of having this where it's automatically deemed basically the accident had something to do with the drug use, and then it has to be overcome.
Right.
And by clear and convincing evidence, which is a tough standard.
Clear and convincing evidence.
So usually those cases, you want to turn it down because that's a tough standard to overcome. But in a case like that, where obviously the guy's sitting at a light, it really has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
that's when you want to fight.
It's different. It's interesting to see all the different standards too, like criminal versus civil.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Preponderance of a doubt. Right.
Preponderance of evidence. So that is basically like 51% to 49%. Just more than half. Then you meet your burden. That's a normal workers' comp case. That's my standard that I have to prove. Then there is clear and convincing evidence is much higher. That's actually the second highest to what we have for criminal cases beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to trial, getting prosecuted for a crime, if you get one juror to take your side, you're gonna win.
Yeah. So, like apparently happened in the Michigan debacle for the government. They tried to say these people tried to kidnap the governor Whitmer up there, and there was something like 12 FBI agents involved, and it was just this whole thing. They're just basically encouraging these couple of whoever to go in and try to do that.
What I'm getting upset with that I've seen over the last couple of years, and I probably mentioned this before, I cannot stand when we see an investigation open, whether it's a criminal one or something else, and then the media takes it like it's a done deal.
Yes.
And then it turns out a year later that it turned out to be nothing, and then the media doesn't talk about that.
Exactly.
And it's like the same play over and over.
Same thing with Rittenhouse and so many other people, and especially legal gun owners. You see it happen with them too. They get thrown, legal gun owners, you know who that demographic is.
Yep.
We got to take a quick break. More with Jason Kobal on the other side of this break here. Kobal Law, TampaWorkCompLaw.com, Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Five, four, three, two, one.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing here in Tampa Bay. We'd love to help you. Proud to say, too, I was last week went to a award ceremony, Real Producers Magazine here in Tampa Bay Real Producers Magazine. I was nominated as Real Estate Influencer of the Year. So that was a pretty cool event, fun time, and great to meet a lot of our fellow real estate agents out there. A lot of cool people involved in real estate out there, so that was pretty cool. I want to mention that and give a shout out as well to Discovery Golf Cars here in Tampa Bay for business recreation. It seems like everybody's getting a golf car these days. You know, they have lots of makes and models: Easygo, Star EV, Cushman. They've got new, pre-owned, rent or buy. They offer financing, mobile repair, Tampa and Clearwater locations. Check them out online, discoverygolfcars.com. Make sure you talk to Ethan or Marty and let them know you heard about them right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate that if you let them know that you heard about them from the radio program. We greatly appreciate you. We got Jason Kobal in the house, and Kobal Law, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. One of my favorite interviews because, you know, we talk about things that matter. We talk about, legal issues that really just frightens people a lot of times. Car accidents, workers' comp. You're holding these employers in check. Social Security benefits. These are areas that people should be concerned about as well. Social Security benefits are, sometimes disability is a challenge to get for people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We all know that the system's running out of money, and they know that too. So a lot of people are getting denied that shouldn't be getting denied, and it takes you apply 3 months for the first decision to come out, then you do a request for reconsideration, takes another 3 months, and we're on a ballpark. Sometimes it's even longer. And then you request a hearing. Those first two decisions are made by somebody in-house with Social Security, usually the first one at the local office, and then up in Tallahassee, the second one. But I can't appeal those to a court, or hold them accountable. So a lot of the times you see garbage decisions that people getting denied that shouldn't be, just to see if they can make it all the way, because then you request a hearing, and that takes 12 to 18 months to get before a judge.
That's so sad.
Then I get to present evidence, so I tell my clients, look, you might get denied the first two times. I said, but once we get to present the evidence, I'll be able to win, because if they don't approve them, then we could appeal it to federal court.
Yeah.
So at least you could hold that accountable. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame, but it's tough these days.
That is tough. I mean, that sounds like and you look at the immigration courts too; they're way backed up.
That's probably going to get even worse.
Yeah,
we're not really honoring our own laws at the southwestern border right now.
Title 42,
shame.
Open border. The 42 is the big talk of the town lately, and you got Texas governor saying he's going to ship. Bus them up there to Washington, D.C., drop them off in Biden's front porch.
That was interesting. I heard that he hasn't had to do that yet, but that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a creative way to handle that.
Yeah, see what happens. Something else, too. I know you're not real big into Bitcoin, but I just thought this was interesting. There was a big Bitcoin in Miami Bitcoin conference. Peter Thiel was the featured speaker. Talked about Bitcoin and is it here to last? Is it here to stay? And it was interesting though. He's going to talk about how it's accepted more and more in different places, countries, and autonomous zones. I think he mentioned Portugal, but here's the clip. I heard this on the Bannon podcast.
Last year, El Salvador became the first country to declare Bitcoin legal tender. This year, 2 more political autonomous zones have followed suit. Madeira in Portugal, which is an autonomous economic zone there, and Prospera, which is a private chartered city in Honduras. The presidents of both districts came here today, announced Bitcoin as legal tender, no capital gains taxes. It's completely part of the system now. But the big news, Peter Thiel, epic keynote speech, He called out ESG. He called out woke capitalism. He said woke companies are quasi-controlled government entities in a way that Bitcoin can never be controlled. He said ESG is a hate factory, that you should, when you think ESG, you should think CCP. He created a Bitcoin enemies list. He put Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink. He called them a gerontocracy. Basically, Peter Thiel just threw down the gauntlet. He took a dump on ESG.
So it's interesting, so Bitcoin provides this. The other thing about Bitcoin, they said it was a debate, was it a feature versus a bug, right? A feature benefit versus a bug, that it's not a company. Bitcoin not being a company opens up, it's like, hey, this is not we don't have a board of directors. So on one side they're thinking, well, is this good or bad, right? But I think it's the point is that, it's not open to the manipulation like our U.S. dollar has been seen, printing trillions of dollars over the last few years, trying in an effort by, I believe, the left to try to make our dollar, not the non-world currency.
Yeah, these are scary times. What I look at is basically China is right on our heels for the second highest economy in the world, and they say in a couple of years they're going to take us over.
Yep.
We really got to be looking for ways where we could stay on top of the mountain.
Right.
It's almost, I feel like these days, these are things that people don't even care about anymore. I heard the White House press conference secretary the other day say, well, we're one of the top militaries. Oh, really? Who's the best? Like, when did that happen?
Exactly.
But I look at that, I don't know much about it, but I could see that Bitcoin is obviously huge. And I know that China's against it, so I think it's personally in our best interest that it does well here in America, because let's get an edge on them on something.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
To keep our spot on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, and it talked about how the ESG scores. So these companies that have these ESG scores, they're just basically manipulating the government. Or the government's manipulating them by having a higher ESG score, which equates to a social credit score like they have in China. So if you have a higher ESG, so environmental, social, if you do your social, clubs like we say, and a lot of that CRT, et cetera, and in corporate governance, so in other words, the way you govern your organization is going to be whether you get taxed and benefits or benefits versus higher taxes, and we're going to get preferential loans. Just look at BlackRock and some of the huge companies that have trillions of dollars to invest, and that's where it kind of comes into my neck of the woods with the real estate space. A lot of institutional buyers buying up real estate, whereas that first-time home buyer, that veteran that I want to support, that I want to win, can't win because they have all this cash given to them by the woke politicians.
Right. Now, woke companies, that's another huge problem. I mean, look at Disney of late.
Yeah.
Getting involved in the, they call it the no gay bill, and even though that's or whatever it is, even though that term isn't even in the bill. But it's a big problem. Or even look at the election with Zuckerberg. Instead of he got around a law by using grants, but $400 million. That's a lot of money to be putting exclusively on Democratic nonprofits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just in general, we have to watch, who's really running the show here. Is it the people or others?
And I watched that movie Rig that just came out, and it documented everything, because they were bringing in people from New York to run was it the Wisconsin, the city there, and just Minneapolis as well. And so, it's pretty crazy when you look at that. If you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Jason Kobal here, local company, support the local economy, support the show here by supporting Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. So he does work comp, he does Social Security, disability benefits, auto accidents, personal injury, and what else are you seeing out there, Jay?
Going off what I was saying before about workers' comp with the drug-free workplace, another thing to keep in mind, I mentioned it was a car accident, my client was rear-ended. If you get in a car accident at work and it's not your fault, you actually have a civil case against the person that hit you and a workers' comp case. So if you were involved in an on-the-job accident where you were hit by somebody else and you did not have two cases, you got to call me, especially if it's been within the last couple of years. Because statute of limitations is 4 for a car accident, 2 for workers' comp. Definitely give me a call, because you don't want to really abandon either of those, and a lot of people don't know that they had to. And if you don't have an expert look at it, you have to look under every rock to see where the money is for insurance. If you get hurt on the job, you have to look at the bodily injury. You have to look at your personal insurance to see if you have UM. You have to see if your employer has UM that will cover you. That's the one that a lot of people miss.
Uninsured motorist, underinsured.
And usually, if they do have coverage, it's $1 million or more because it's a commercial policy. So those are huge misses. And if you don't, like maybe if you call your relative who might be a family law attorney or something like that, no, make sure you're talking to somebody who actually specializes in injury law, accident law.
Well, that's what's interesting about the law profession. There's so many niches, right? So estate planning, probate avoidance, intellectual property, there's all types. We had a marine, when they're on the water, I forgot the actual term for that, maritime law.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's so many niches in law. Can you talk about that a little bit, the importance of that?
Absolutely. I learned real quick that if you see an attorney who's considered like a jack of all trades, like, oh, I can handle anything, you run. Because it's literally impossible. You can, I mean, you kind of have to pick your poison, what you want to spend your time in. But once you get into a niche or your field, I mean, each one is so involved, and it would be impossible to really have more than maybe just a few that are related.
Yeah.
Like all mine are associated with injury.
Right.
If I were to try to get into real estate or something like that, forget it.
Yeah.
No
it's
way.
a lot to think about, a lot to learn, and Jason Kobal is one of the best in Tampa Bay here. Kobal Law, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Find him online. And Jay, any other places you want people to reach at?
Yeah, just my website, like you said, or call the show or call my office at 813-873-2440. And any kind of injury at all, whether it's on the job, car accident, slip and fall, you're too hurt, you can't work anymore, you want to look for Social Security, or if you're getting any medical bills related to an injury that you think are wrong or you're confused about, give me a call, because there's a lot of billing fraud going on.
Okay, excellent, good stuff. All right, that's Jason Kobal, longtime friend of the program here. Personal injury law and work comp law, Social Security, disability, auto accidents. Reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. We'll put you right in touch with Jason and his team. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got Shane Socash on the program. He's the owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Plus, our feel-good story of the day, raising money for big brothers, big sisters of Tampa Bay. Tampa leaders go over the edge for charity. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. Any of our listeners out there, we'll offer you a 2% listing for the first 3 callers that reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline, 813-917-1894. Also, a great opportunity for folks out there looking for a part-time gig, maybe a side hustle, is Keller Williams Real Estate School, powered by Kaplan. Reach out if you'd like more information on how we have a free real estate school for you, online class, get licensed, and start referring business in, or maybe make a new career. 813-917-1894, ConsumerQB.com for our syndicated radio and TV show on 80 outlets worldwide, ConsumerQB.com, or our real estate website at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. That's PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. And please follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, and check out our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. Make it a great day.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team. We like to feature our real estate listings so we help our sellers profit more and sell faster. We got a property at 14626 Loredon Drive in Seminole, Florida. This is a $1+ million property that we got, a $1.495 million property ask here. 2 bedrooms, 3 bath, 1,330 square feet, master. You got a double master layout that is waterfront dock home. 5 minutes from Indian Shores and Indian Rocks beaches. You've got your own private boat dock as well as bay access. Beautiful property, 180 degrees. You're on their peninsula there, so no backyard neighbors. Beautiful property right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet. Tell me something good.
All right, so our producers teed up this cool story here out of Fox 13 News. Tampa leaders go over the edge for charity. City of Tampa leaders showed they weren't afraid of heights Saturday morning as they rappelled 17 stories down the side of a Hilton Tampa downtown to help raise money for Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Tampa Bay. And the police assistant chief, Ruben Delgado, was at one time a Big Brother himself. And the Big Brother, Big Sister is a phenomenal program specifically for us in law enforcement. We do quote, air quotes, Bigs in Blue, where we pair ourselves up with a kid in school. We spend an hour a week with them, and it makes a huge difference, Delgado said. So they have paired, last year they did 2,100 pairings of children with caring adult mentors in 9 counties around Tampa Bay, and on Saturday about 53 rappellers participated in the event. You had to raise $1,500 to do it. Over the Edge, the event brought in $110,000. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Tampa Bay. There you have it. That's our feel-good story of the day. And we're going to go to the phone lines here. Shane Socash, David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. Shane, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent, excellent. And yeah, so let's jump right into it. We talk a lot about precious metals. You have the ability to have jewelry created. So I think that's really cool that you can just create a masterpiece for your loved ones there as well. David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. What are you seeing out there, Shane?
Staying busy. Lots of bullion back and forth. Movement in the market kind of spurs activity. So it creates a situation where people are buying and selling.
Yeah, bullion is the way to go. I'm hearing a lot more about just holding on to, buying these precious metals. Gold and silver primarily is what I'm hearing.
Yep. I had a gentleman contact me yesterday, and he's got about $1 million worth of bullion that he's going to be, looking to move out of, and then equally 10 times a day or maybe even 20, we're getting phone calls, people wanting to buy.
Wow. That's super cool, man. So $1 million in bullion, what's that look like?
It's not that much. Physically, it's so $1 million of bullion is probably about the size of a cinder block.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing, cinder block size.
So obviously it's lots of coins and that type of thing that would take up the space of a cinder block. It's not a cinder block of gold. So
sure, yeah, but that's a good analogy, like you said. Wow, yeah, so $1 million in bullion. That's pretty cool. So yeah, people are looking to get in and out, just like of any market. There's buyers and sellers, so that's interesting. I'm watching this cool show on Netflix now. It's I like watching those old school, kind of like what's the one, Braveheart, William Wallace,
Sure.
But there's one called The Last Kingdom, and it's anytime they get into a negotiation situation, they're always dealing silver. There's 30 pieces of silver, It's interesting though.
Yeah, it's ancient. It's been going on forever, and it's still happening every day here.
Yeah, exactly. People are looking for alternative stores of value. They're buying real estate. They're buying land. And, if they want to get into the precious metals game, you can help them out there at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, right on Central Avenue in Pinellas County. That's St. Petersburg.
Yep.
Folks can come in. What's the experience like when they come in, Shane?
Okay, so I'm looking up at my surveillance here, and we've got a relatively small showroom in the front, and we've got about 10 folks in there right now, and someone at our door about to ring the doorbell. So we're a pretty busy little store. I'm grateful to say, pretty trusted in the community. We have a nice, clean, bright, fine jewelry showroom, and then 1/4 of it is kind of dedicated to coins and bullion, and the rest is fine jewelry.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you got the certified gemologist on staff too.
Yep, we have 3 graduate gemologists here, 2 master valuers, and lots of phenomenal jewelers.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love the idea of folks supporting our show. We had an uptick in calls last week, people reaching out for a lot of different reasons why for our show partners. But I love it that our show is local. We've got the local flair, and being able to bring on local area business owners, account executives or salesmen and women that are involved with these different companies, attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, all types of great companies, and supporting the local show. That's something that you don't really find as much anymore. You see, it seems like everything, or most, a lot of the bigger outlets are nationally syndicated. They're national type shows, and here we are in broadcasting out of Salem Media Group right here in Tampa Bay, and
sure,
we get the opportunity to bring on great folks that are involved in the community, and I love talking with Shane Socash here on the program. So support the show, support local business. Reach out to the hotline 813-917-1894. All you have to do is pull out your smartphone and give us a call or a text at 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. So yeah, Shane, give us some more thoughts there. If people are looking to get creative, they want to do something that's just not just a regular type of a ring or jewelry piece. They can come in and get some ideas, and you go through that computer-aided design, correct?
That is absolutely right. I spoke to a lady earlier who is looking for a specific pea pod pendant. She saw it along the way in her life at some point, and when she saw it years ago, she didn't have the money to purchase it. It's always kind of stuck out in her mind, some amount of pearls in a gold pea pod. So she reached out to me, and it's, basically we do some searching on the internet for inspiration photos. And then I work with her and design that pendant in CAD, and then we go and cast it and set the stones and finish it right here in our store.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Pretty cool operation you got over there. And you've been in business for how long now?
So David Reynolds has been open on Central Avenue since 1971. I used to, when I was taking jewelry classes in high school, I used to come here to buy my medals because it was known that this is the place that you could trust. Now, I have worked here for 22 years, and I've owned the store for 10.
Wow. That's quite a reputation. How many companies can say that? 1971.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool, too. So you were able to take jewelry classes in high school?
Yeah, Dixie Hollins High School over here, on the Pinellas side of the bay. And, back in 87, 88, I was taking jewelry class, didn't know I was going to become a jeweler. And the teacher would say, you got to go to David Reynolds because you can trust them to buy your medals.
Wow.
And I went on to work for 12 years for Earl and Ron, the founders of the company. Their middle names make up the David Reynolds. And then after 12 years of working with them, which was quite an honor, I was able to work out an arrangement with them and purchase the company from them.
Wow, that's
and we've
super
grown
cool.
it. Yeah, we've grown
I love that
it.
story. It's like it's capitalism at its best. I mean, you put in your work, you develop the reputation, you have the work ethic. You're in there learning the business, and then the owners give you a shot. They say, you know what, that he's going to be a good steward of our business, aka our baby, right?
I owe so much to them for taking a chance on me, and we're still great friends. And if you ran into them out and about, they would reflect back that it was one of the best decisions they've made, as I would also.
That is so cool. I love that. That's such a refreshing story to hear, because you go through life and you do hear stories of business partners and failed businesses and challenges, but that's just an American success story. I love that. Precious metals, gold bullion, silver, diamonds, graduate gemologist on staff, and more than that, of course, at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Shane Socash, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
My pleasure. Check them out online, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Go in person as well, Central Avenue, right there in St. Petersburg. Pinellas County, beautiful Pinellas County, especially this time of year. What a great place to live, work, and play. We are truly blessed here in Tampa Bay, especially this time of year. We love the low humidity and the nice sunshine. But hey, another great show. I want to thank Doug Levi, insurance quarterback, Jason Kobal, attorney, Jason Kobal, that is, and Shane Socash. And we want you to please go out there and commit a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Do us a favor, download our podcast, Spotify and iTunes, and check out our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.